Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 819 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and joining me, as always, we have the one and only Chris DeBona.
Hi.
And the one of many, Robert Roseboom.
I'm one of many.
You are
Legion, you are Rob.
Yeah. We are Rob.
We are all Rob. I mean, that's actually, in this conversation, 66% true.
Yeah. Not wrong.
That's true. How's everybody's weekend?
Yeah, it was kind of the weekend.
Kind of.
I can't remember.
You're busy. Your boss is a taskmaster.
I hope so. Got to spend the investors' money wisely. Shareholder value.
That's right.
Sorry.
Get her done. I'm halfway through my annual viewing of Die Hard. That's where I am.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, I also rewatched Anna and the Apocalypse.
Oh, good movie.
I'm getting all my Christmassy things out of the year. I've watched like 10 Christmas movies already this year, but
Really?
Genie was garbage. Don't watch that.
Genie?
I already watched it.
Oh, you failed. And Candy Cane Lane is actually fine.
Well, I watched it over.
Is Rebel Moon Part 1 out, or is that coming out?
I think that's Friday, this weekend. The reviews are not good.
Well, of course it's not going to be good.
It's, you know,
yeah.
I mean, it's what you want them to be, though. I mean,
Epic
it's probably
schlock.
going to be like a huge blockbuster.
Well, is it going to be like, you know, I don't know, like fun good or fun bad or just bad?
The review that I listened to did not have a lot nice to say.
You know, the one I heard was it's the most Zack Snyder movie that Zack Snyder's ever made. I'm like,
that's not a good sign, because that zombie thing that he did.
I don't know. I love Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, but the zombie thing that he did a few years ago, where like the first 20 minutes was awesome, and then the next hour and a half was garbage. I listen to every week. I listen to the Empire podcast, and they talked about this one, and they basically said if they just took
the Umpire podcast,
it's for baseball players and
baseball
officiants of professional sports, but really it's about life.
I don't know. I'm just saying 300 is a good time.
Absolutely.
It's not a great movie at all.
I still think Watchmen is great.
Movie,
I think it is too.
I think Watchmen was
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah,
it's 2004 Dawn of the Dead.
It's great.
Fantastic.
I think Watchmen, if it came out today, would blow everybody's mind, because we're so burnt out on superheroes, and that's totally what that movie like has at its core.
Yeah.
And I think it would actually do really well.
Are you saying that Star Wars isn't a superhero movie?
I mean, people have like the Force. That's like a superpower, right?
Yeah, it is.
Well, let's see. We have very little on the list today, so if we don't have movies to yak about, this could go very quickly. The first one that I have on the list was Fake Status Bars Make Me Angry, and this was just. I've seen this one, and this one made me angry. This is it's the Ad Block Plus, and there's already a bunch of controversy about the various Ad Blocks and Ad Block Pluses and who owns them and who's making the decisions and where the allegiances lie. But in this one,
Origin, the only real one?
I don't even know what the real one is anymore. I run AdGuard on my network.
Pi-hole is the only one you could really trust.
Right. Well, AdGuard is the same as Pi-hole. It's just a different vendor doing the same thing. It's just DNS blocking. But this one
installed LAN cache, which is part of Pi-hole, it turns out, when you install it. But I installed LAN cache for the work network so that we could
function
down on the bandwidth consumption. So
seriously,
it's really nice. It's really good, man.
But this one, they just showed
one pull from Steam.
One pull. So
one
easy.
pull
so
from
easy.
Windows Update.
So easy.
One Docker pull.
You know, I actually installed Jellyfin on my Docker cluster today, because I've been having Plex has been making me grumpier and grumpier. And
I think that's in my future too.
People seem to like the Jellyfin, so I set that up this morning, and then I think I might have broke it because I had a movie that I was trying to watch that was like a 70 gig movie, and I think it was trying to do the thing where it transcodes it and thumbnails it or something, and then it all heaved, which wasn't so great.
Yeah, I haven't jumped into Jellyfin yet, but Plex is not great.
Plex just gets worse and worse and worse. I had to set it up for a family member. And I had to create them a new account, and I had to, because they didn't have one. And then, of course, the app, you have to pay to use the app. It's like all these little tiny things that built up. And then when you load up the interface, half of the interface is like, watch our crap channels. And it's like, I do not want to watch your crap channels. I want to watch the collection of movies.
My crap channels.
Right. I made these. I picked these. Why are you making me watch your garbage?
I'm a curator.
Right. I very carefully curated these movies. Yeah, it makes me grumpy. Anyway, this ad block thing, it's a fake status bar. They looked at it. It's totally fake. And it goes back to the psychology behind this. If you show somebody a status bar, they theoretically perceive that as adding gravitas to the tool. And it tricks you into thinking it has more value than it actually does, or more value than none. And I saw that. That made me really angry. I just wanted to shake my fist at the sky.
Yeah.
Now I have done that. So now we can look at Uranus, Rob.
I've got okay.
So they pointed James Webb.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was extra showy. Oh,
Yeah.
the Webb's gonna look at me. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna
right.
Primp and preen. It's a very showy.
Right. Clearly, Uranus has a ring light. That's all I'm saying.
They've definitely touched up the rings.
Yeah.
You know, that's just not the way they look in the wild.
You know, it had a ring lift.
Well, you see the prototypical James Webb hexagon artifacts here. That's pretty cool.
No, it's just that's the nicest picture we've ever apparently taken of Uranus. It's.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
God.
I like the one with the reflection in the top right. You know, but I'm old school like that.
Yeah.
You
know. We're children. Okay, Chris, you shared the essential guide to electronics in Shenzhen.
Yeah. So the first edition was Bunny Wong, running around and giving you an idea as a Westerner how to understand Shenzhen and the rest. So that's 2016. But now Naomi Wu has updated it and worked with Bunny to make it updated. Now Bunny, you might remember, he's the one who to really get to know people around Shenzhen, he ended up taking a bartender job at the Irish bar where all the expat quality people go, for there in Shenzhen.
People of quality.
I've been to that bar. It's really something. So it was really neat, and so they've updated it. And then, of course, that's kicked off a whole, controversy around Naomi Wu because that's what goes along with her. So
that's right. I forgot about her.
Well, she got shut down by the government apparently.
Because, really?
Yeah. So it turns out there's no gay people in China.
Right. It's weird.
That?
Yeah. It's weird. It's probably something about the water or the patriotism, whatever their equivalent of patriotism is. It just you love the motherland so much that those sorts of genetics just don't surface.
Yeah, and the man-woman imbalance in the country is such as a result of one child that I think, long and short of it is she could leave, but her girlfriend can't. So I think the Chinese government said, all right, time to dial it back. And she's like, oh. And, as a Chinese citizen, she doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
So she dialed it back, but she did put some work into this, which is kind of great. This is a really good effort on her part and Bunny's to help people understand Shenzhen. Although the picture of manufacturing in China is changing so much so fast,
right?
But yeah,
I like Shenzhen a lot.
Have you been there?
No, I'm not thinking. I'm thinking of the one I'm thinking of
Guangzhou.
No, I'm thinking of
Akihabara?
Japan. Yeah, I'm thinking of.
You're thinking Akihabara.
I'm thinking Akihabara. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's similar districts in Japan and Taiwan. I think the Taiwanese one is probably the best, especially now, for, creative stuff and getting stuff done. But yeah.
All right. I watched a documentary earlier this week called Pencils versus Pixels, which kind of disappointed me because I think I knew every single thing in it. It's just a history of 2D animation and sort of how 2D animation got gobbled up by 3D. It's very fluffy
Oh,
and
I have a
friendly.
great story. Let me bring it up here.
I put one in the channel. It's a great Christmas story to
Yeah,
warm our hearts. Yeah.
warm your heart.
I don't think that might be true.
This was actually from my wife, into our family channel, and I was like, "Holy crap!" She's like, "Have you ever heard of this guy?" Here, here's the link.
All right, and I just put Rob's
Murdered.
stuff if you refresh the zone. To our audience, to our
And there.
100 podcast listeners, the Taco Zone subreddit contains all the links discussed during an episode of Geeks in Space. Make sure to smash that like button.
Oh wait, are we doing the YouTube thing?
Yeah.
If you like and subscribe, it'll tell the algorithm what we are.
It helps.
So do that now.
Who's the
One
guy?
of my favorite channel where if you're not subscribed, do it now.
Do it now. We could really use it. We're really hungry for those ad dollars since we spent the first quarter of this episode talking about ad blockers. Clearly, we're motivated by that. So yeah, both of you guys' stories are both added to the zone.
What the hell is this? Rob, this is oh my no, they didn't.
Yes,
They
man.
didn't.
Yes.
Some like leader in the warehouse getting fired for this.
Absolutely. Someone in leadership, someone at HR is like,
I'm watching Andy Jassy have a kitten right now.
So from
crap.
what I didn't do a deep dive, and for what I've just skimmed from the story.
This is like
basically
Rob Roseboom level parody right here.
Right?
You know?
Exactly.
You
should be on the Onion.
Man, this should be in the game.
So someone at this Amazon warehouse decided that they would give a certain number of employees a quote their Christmas wish. So they had them, if they were having trouble struggling with Christmas this year, they could write a letter to the company mascot, the orange blob, and ask them for help this year. And then a certain number of those people would presumably get at least part of whatever they asked for from the orange blob. Wow.
Tasteful.
It would be one thing if, luckily the working in the Amazon warehouse is known to be a very great job with lots of great benefits.
Right. It
So
keeps you physically.
I'm still stuck on orange blob.
You never have to pee in a bottle because you're not allowed to take pee breaks.
Nope.
You
just pee in random boxes.
Wow. So someone's like, hey, we're underpaying these people to the point where a lot of them can't afford Christmas. What if we have them write a letter to our company mascot asking for enough money to buy their kids toys?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good one.
I envision that working at an Amazon warehouse is not dissimilar from what's the movie where they work in the cocaine refinery or whatever, and they have everybody kind of naked.
That's just about every movie about processing drugs.
Fair enough.
So I'm not sure which one.
It's
what I hear what you're saying.
Like I just imagine it looks kind of like that, and that makes me sad. On the other hand, recently, a member of my household was feeling bad about making Amazon delivery people come out to deliver like, $3 thing. So she did the thing where you click the checkbox and it's like deliver when you want it to. And it ended up taking like 3 weeks for this thing to get here. I was like, that did not make anything better for anyone. Like there were like 10 packages delivered in those 3 weeks, and you couldn't have just stuffed that in with one of those. I don't know what your math was there, Jeff Bezos. Well, I don't want to work. I don't want to work in that place. That's for sure.
Maybe that person should just write the company mascot and ask
for some help.
Yeah, maybe that your delivery driver gets a little help.
Well, they got to save money there if they want their executives to be able to have giant terrariums built into their own homes.
Whatever the Amazon equivalent to elf on a shelf is. I imagine it's like, some warrior maiden who helps them. I mean, they are called Amazon, right? So
Yep.
It's true.
Summon
Like, not Wonder
Artemis.
Woman,
Well,
but
at least they
like
didn't make them, remove one of their, breasts to continue working there.
correct.
That we
I guess
know
they
of.
should be grateful that all they have to do is email Amazon Santa to get their wish for healthcare or living wage.
Right.
Holy crap!
We
Right?
we truly live in the dystopian future.
Wow.
But
Like,
I
but
can guarantee you, Andy Jassy probably gave birth to a kid after reading this. Like, I'm sorry, he did what? He told him to do what?
Mm-hmm.
Is that some weird German thing? What is happening here?
Checks out.
someone must have looked at this and thought, "Oh, I
This is
wonder
a
if this
fine
could be
idea.
taken in a bad way."
A very bad
No,
way.
nobody,
We're cool.
nobody.
This strikes me as something that was done without appropriate supervision, but
yeah,
sometimes the 4s and the 5s, they do things that the 6s and the 7s don't like.
It's true.
Darn 7s.
Hate them so much. Still always be unemployed. Let's say we got Chris. You got this terrarium story.
Yeah. So
this is cool.
Yeah. So when you read the story, you're like, oh, it's just some really freaky house in New York, right? What's funny about it is who built it. So that last day, when Christine sent this to me, my wife, and she sent this to me, and I was like, Mechner, like Jordan Mechner. She's like, I don't know. And then as she was reading, she's like, yeah, Jordan Mechner, and I'm like, Karateka, Prince of Persia, and it turns out this is where he grew up. And in the woods behind it is where he did all the rotoscoping for Karateka. And I'm like, dude, that's a cool house.
That is a cool
if y'all
house.
want to buy the house that Jordan Mechner grew up in. I mean, it needs a little bit of work, and it's a very special property. But here,
yeah, it's bonkers.
It's pretty neat though, and it's inspiring because every once in a while I have wacky ideas for the house, and I'm like, yeah, why don't I just do it? So yeah.
Because the algorithm rules my existence, I have probably
You cannot remodel your house.
No, but I've watched like 50 episodes on YouTube of the architect John Lautner. You've seen many buildings that he has designed. They are LA staples.
Sure.
Like he
Yeah,
did.
no, I know
He did like the Bob Hope House, and like whenever the algorithm recommends to me a John Lautner video, it's like I will now watch another John. He was like a descendant from that house.
This thing from They Live, from Charlie's Angels, the most recent one.
But it wasn't
really
actually
terrible.
used in Charlie's Angels. It was a fake meant to look like that house.
Oh.
And they talk about that in one of the many videos about this. That house is actually really tiny inside.
Oh, I mean, yeah. The thing is, roundhouses are tough to split up and make private.
But I'm totally obsessed with this guy, and I've watched so many videos about like going through and looking at the interior of this guy's house. He did all the weird like organic architecture stuff, like kind of took Frank Lloyd Wright stuff to the next level. And I'm all about it.
Like here's the challenge when they use these subsections to break off different areas, but it's one big open thing.
Yeah, open floor plans.
So with all the problems of how do you balance temperatures? How do noise is always a problem, but yeah. All right.
What all the furniture in that image looks really cool. The live edge tables and stuff. Like that's cool stuff.
It's what you expect from the Mechners,
right?
And I have to tell you, I like their kitchen. It's like no fucking around. Let's get some stainless steel going,
right?
Which
sort
is
of
very Christine. It's very
sort of a mid-century modern color scheme there.
That stove is my dream come true.
Look at that.
It's okay.
So many knobs.
I think
Chris,
is it a commercial stove? If so, I'm okay with it. If not, if it's just some Wolf thing, Wolf.
I think it's a cool stove, Rob. I'm with you.
Yes, it is.
My stove is broken on the burners on one side. So when
then it's not a stove anymore. It's just a big hunk of metal.
It's
bud.
just a hot box. The igniters on one side, like if you don't have the knob in specifically the right spot, both of the igniters tick. So it's like you're trying to simmer something, and then both igniters are going tick 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 tick. God damn
just
it!
just
never
a
shut
matter
off.
of time before they come and take our natural gas stoves. Jim.
That's right. Well,
So
I didn't
the blue
share
star we
it.
had, we melted through. So we had a blue star, and it was actually pretty good. Both of them were, but they had a lot of problems that were covered by the warranty, and they fixed it. And they're like, we don't see people using our equipment like this. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, you guys really cook a lot. Because it got hot enough that it melted one of the supply line wires, power supply, and so it was shorting out, which is not what you want from your gas stove.
No.
And so we were lighting it with a match. They're like, how did you get it this hot? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so we replaced the wires with a higher grade of wire. And then the igniter inside the stove burned out. They're like, yeah, it's just getting really, really hot. And I'm like, it's a stove. What do you mean it's getting really hot?
It really only has one job.
And they're like, yeah, but most people, they have people who are cooking for them. I'm like, okay, I get it now. But yeah.
No.
It's a good stove after we got through those warranty issues.
Do we have any? Oh, have either of you watched Bodies yet?
No.
I have one episode left to go, and I got to tell you,
you're
man,
loving it.
I'm loving it. It's too slow, and it did fall into the traditional episode 7 Netflix rule. Like episode 7, here's where we explain all the secrets. But I've got one episode left where they're gonna do something interesting with the premise, and I'm really excited about it. It's just a good old fashioned science fiction-y sort of storytelling premise, and fun.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen anything else that's good
Ever?
Nope.
It's been a rough life.
Yeah.
I'm hearing about this Star Wars movie. I should probably watch it.
A Star Wars, eh?
Yeah. For some reason, I've got this little green guy on my chest. I should maybe.
I've got the open sauce shirt today.
Oh yeah, we're so fancy. All right. Do we have anything else we want to get off our chests before we go about our busy days?
9.
All right.
I must
then.
go right to the Orange Jesus, Orange Santa.
Yes, well, also they're doing the thing I think where you can tip your driver by like saying Merry Christmas or something to the wiretap device in your house. All of this, yeah, they were doing that.
Thanks.
Right? Like you can.
No, I would point out, I think the drivers for Amazon, they do such a good job,
For
especially
sure.
here in our area. Good on them. I would give them a hot cocoa in a second. So.
We used to keep a box of treats out for them on the front porch, but it just became a problem because the squirrels kept getting into them. We have so much wildlife.
It's worse when squirrels start attacking your drivers, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean they got into the food?
They kept eating the food.
They weren't building like a squirrel driving pyramid, like 8 of them taking the truck.
Yeah.
Now we're at the time of year where I can't even keep out like a can of frozen soda because it'll freeze.
Yeah. Yep,
All right, gents. Let's say goodbye to Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
And Chris DeBona.
Bye.
That was episode 819 of Geeks in Space, and I was Rob Commander Takamalta. We'll see you Friday for our Christmas extravaganza, unless we decide not to because we're bored and busy. Bye.